on the coldest night of winter, when snowflakes drifted like whispered wishes from the sky, something extraordinary stirred in the quiet town of Evergreen Valley. Lanterns glowed softly in windows, church bells slept, children dreamed of stockings and cinnamon treats, but beneath the hush of Christmas Eve, a gentle alarm chimed. Not loud, not urgent, but filled with hope. It was the rescue bell, and whenever that bell rang, 5 brave little hearts answered.
Welcome to Magic Fairytales TV, the enchanted realm where timeless stories come alive once more.
Evergreen Valley sat nestled between snow-covered hills and silver pine forests. It was the kind of place where neighbors waved even in blizzards, where hot cocoa solved most problems, and where everyone believed, truly believed, that kindness could save the day. At the edge of town stood a cozy old firehouse, trimmed in twinkling lights and evergreen garlands. Above its door hung a wooden sign, Helping Paws Rescue Station. Inside, 5 rescue pups were preparing for Christmas in their own special way. The rescue pups include Finn, the steady leader pup, adjusted a red scarf around his neck. Calm and thoughtful, Finn believed every problem had a solution if you worked together. Luna, the clever lookout, perched by the window, her sharp eyes scanning the snowy sky. She noticed things others missed. Bruno, the strongest pup, carefully stacked wrapped presents in neat piles, though he pretended not to care about bows. Pip, the fastest pup, zoomed around the room, humming Christmas tunes and knocking over exactly 1 chair per lap. Willow, the gentlest pup, placed cookies on a plate for anyone who might need them, human or animal. The station smelled like pine needles, baked bread, and warm wool. "This is my favorite night of the year," Willow said softly. "Nothing ever goes wrong on Christmas Eve." Pip declared confidently. The rescue bell chimed. Everyone froze. Finn's ears perked up. "Looks like Christmas needs us." The message came through in a soft crackle. "This is Evergreen Valley. We have a problem. The North Bridge is iced over, and the toy delivery truck is stuck. The town's gifts won't make it in time." Gasps filled the room. No presents meant disappointed children. Disappointed children meant broken Christmas magic. "We can't let that happen," Luna said firmly. Finn nodded. Rescue pups' holiday mission. Snow boots were fastened. Lanterns were lit. Sleds were prepared. As they burst into the snowy night, bells jingled faintly in the distance, almost like someone was cheering them on. If you believe kindness can save Christmas and teamwork makes miracles possible, tap like and subscribe to Magic Fairytale TV, where gentle stories, warm hearts, and bedtime dreams. Bridge shimmered like glass under moonlight. The truck sat stuck at an angle, wheels spinning helplessly. Bruno tested the ice. Too slippery. Pip zipped across with a rope. "I can anchor it." Luna calculated the angle. Willow comforted the driver, wrapping him in a blanket. Together, slowly, carefully, the pups worked as snow fell thicker and colder. Just as the rope tightened and the truck lurched forward, a loud crack echoed. The bridge groaned. Finn took a deep breath. "Easy. Trust each other." And they did. With one final pull, the truck rolled safely onto solid ground. Cheers erupted. Christmas magic shimmered brighter. But far away, deeper in the forest, another light flickered. Someone else needed help. The forest beyond North Bridge was quieter than the town. Too quiet. Snow muffled every sound, wrapping the trees in thick white blankets. Moonlight slipped through bare branches, turning the ground into a silver path that stretched deep into the woods. Luna stopped suddenly. "Do you hear that?" The others listened. At first, nothing. Then, faint and trembling, carried on the wind like a broken bell. A sob. Willow's ears drooped. Someone scared. Finn nodded. Pip tracked the sound, slowly. Pip dashed forward, paws barely touching the snow. Within moments, he skidded to a stop near a cluster of pine trees. There, he barked softly. Curled beneath a fallen branch sat a small child wrapped in an oversized coat. Snow dusted their hair like sugar. Their mittened hands trembled as they tried to wipe away tears. I was walking home, the child whispered, but the snow kept falling, and I got lost. Willow moved first, gentle as snowfall itself. She wrapped the child in a warm blanket from her pack. "You're not lost anymore," she said softly. "We found you." The child looked up. "Are you real?" Bruno smiled. "As real as hot cocoa." Just as Finn prepared to radio the town, the wind howled louder. Snow fell harder. The forest path vanished. "We can't see the trail back," Luna said, scanning the trees. "The storm's closing in." The child clutched Willow's paw. "Am I gonna miss Christmas?" Finn knelt so they were eye to eye. "Not if we can help it." The rescue pups huddled close. "We'll make our own path," Finn decided. "Pip, scout ahead. Bruno, break the snowdrifts. Luna, guide us by the stars." Willow asked. Finn smiled. "You stay right here." Willow nodded, holding the child close as Bruno pushed through snowbanks taller than fences. Pip zipped ahead, leaving bright flags behind, while Luna called directions with steady confidence. Step by step, paw by paw, they moved. The forest tested them, but it did not stop. Through the swirling white, warm lights appeared. Evergreen Valley. Church bells chimed midnight. The child's eyes filled with joy. "I'm home!" Neighbors rushed out, wrapping scarves, calling names, tears freezing on smiling cheeks. The child turned back to the pups. "Thank you. You saved Christmas." Finn shook his head gently. "You saved it too. You stayed brave." As the child disappeared into warmth and laughter, Luna's ears twitched. "Another signal," she said quietly. Far away, across the frozen lake, a single lantern flickered, and then went out. The pups didn't hesitate. Snow clung to their fur. Ice sparkled ahead. Christmas Eve was slipping away, but hope still burned bright. Finn lifted his head. One more rescue. And together, they ran toward the frozen lake. The frozen lake lay silent beneath the moon, vast and pale like a sleeping giant. Snow drifted across its surface in whispering spirals, hiding cracks and dangers beneath a glittering skin of ice. At the far end of the lake, a single sled sat tilted near the shore, its lantern extinguished, its tracks disappearing into the white. Finn slowed his pace. "This ice is thin," he warned. "One wrong step, and it won't forgive us." Bruno planted his paws firmly. "Then we step smart." Luna gazed upward, her eyes reflecting the stars. "The clouds are moving fast. We don't have much time." A faint sound echoed across the lake. Tap, tap, tap. Pit's ears shot up. Someone's out there. Willow's breath caught. "I hear it too." They moved closer, slowly, carefully, until the moon revealed a figure kneeling beside a small hole in the ice. An old fisherman. His boots were soaked. His hands were red with cold as he clutched a rope tied to his sled. The ice beneath him spider-webbed with cracks, glowing faintly blue under the moonlight. "I thought I knew this lake," the man murmured. "Been fishing it for 40 years. The ice groaned. Crack! Everyone stop, Finn commanded. The fisherman froze. Then the ice gave way. The lake swallowed him with a roar of shattered glass. Willow gasped. Luna cried out. Without hesitation, Finn dropped flat on his belly, sliding toward the hole. Bruno, anchor. Pip, rope. Luna, light. Bruno slammed his paws into the snow, digging deep as Pip hurled the rope forward. Luna's collar glowed bright and steady, casting light into the dark water below. The fisherman surfaced, coughing, barely holding the edge of the ice. "I can't, my hands." Finn reached him, keeping his weight spread wide. "Hold the rope. Don't look down." The ice cracked again. Bruno strained, muscles shaking. Now or never. Pip and Willow pulled together. Slowly, painfully, the fisherman slid free of the water and onto solid ice. The moment his weight cleared, crack! The hole widened, swallowing the lantern, the sled, and the broken ice. But the fisherman was safe.
The man in blankets, guiding him back toward shore when suddenly
A bell rang. Soft, bright, musical.
snowflakes paused mid-air. Golden light poured down from the clouds. The pups looked up. A sleigh streaked across the sky, pulled by reindeer whose hooves sparkled like stars. At the reins sat a figure cloaked in red, his laughter warm as hearth fire. He tipped his hat. "Merry Christmas, brave ones." The fisherman smiled through tears. "I knew it. I just knew." The sleigh vanished into the night, leaving behind a glowing snowflake that drifted into Finn's paw. Willow whispered, "Was that?" Finn closed his paw gently. A reminder. The radio crackled to life. "Rescue pups," came a worried voice from Evergreen Valley. A town square lights won't turn on. The generator's frozen solid. The celebration starts in minutes. Luna's tail swished. "If the lights don't shine, Christmas goes dark," Pip finished. Finn stood tall, eyes shining with determination. "Then we light it ourselves." The pups turned back toward town, paws moving faster now, hearts burning brighter than the cold. The night wasn't over. Not yet. Evergreen Valley waited. Windows glowed softly. Candles flickered behind frosted glass. Families gathered in scarves and mittens, their laughter gentle but uncertain. All eyes drifting again and again toward the town square clock. 5 minutes to Christmas Eve, and still no lights. At the edge of town, the pups raced through drifting snow, breath steaming in the cold air. The wind howled louder here, whipping banners loose and rattling empty stalls. There, Willow pointed ahead. A generator shed stood hunched beneath snowdrifts, its door half buried, its chimney iced shut. Inside, the heart of the town slept, frozen, silent, useless. Finn pushed the door open with a groan of hinges. Cold poured out like a living thing. The generator sat still, encased in ice. Pipes were glazed white, gears locked tight. Even the emergency lantern barely flickered. Pip circled it, panic rising. "It's completely iced over. We can't just flip a switch." Bruno tested the crank. Nothing budged. "This thing hasn't breathed in hours." Luna closed her eyes, listening, not with her ears, but with something deeper. "The cold is holding it," she said softly. "Not just ice. Fear. Waiting." Willow blinked, waiting for what? Luna opened her eyes. For someone to believe it can still work. Outside, the clock chimed once. Hill above, they could see Evergreen Valley gathering. Parents shifting their weight. Children tugging sleeves. Someone tried to sing, but the song faded without the lights. A hush settled. Finn swallowed. "If the lights don't come on," he said, "this night becomes just another cold memory." Pip's ears drooped. "What if we're too late?" Bruno shook his head slowly. "No, Christmas isn't about being on time. It's about showing up." Finn looked at each of them.
Then we give it everything. They worked together. Bruno cleared ice with powerful paws. Willow guided warm air from the nearby bakery vent, redirecting it with boards and blankets. Pip crawled inside the machinery, chipping frozen valves free despite trembling paws. Still, nothing. The clock chimed again. 3 minutes. Luna stepped forward, holding the glowing snowflake Finn had carried since the lake. "It's not just light," she said. "It's warmth. Memory. Hope." She placed the snowflake gently against the generator's core. The light spread. Ice began to crack, not violently, but softly, like spring waking beneath snow. The machine shuddered. Once, twice, then, roar. The generator roared to life. Lights exploded across Evergreen Valley in waves of gold and color. Strings of bulbs danced awake. The great tree blazed brighter than the stars. Music burst from speakers like joy uncorked. Cheers rose into the night. Children laughed. Bells rang. Snow seemed to glow. Inside the shed, the pups stared in stunned silence, then laughed, tails wagging, hearts full. "We did it," Pip whispered. Finn smiled. "No, we did it together." The radio crackled again, urgent this time. "Rescue pups," came a small, frightened voice. "I'm stuck. I tried to bring a gift to my grandma, but the bridge." Static. Luna's ears lifted sharply. "That's the old North Bridge." Finn's smile faded, replaced by resolve. "Then we run," he said. "Christmas isn't over until everyone is safe." The pups turned back into the snow, lights blazing behind them, darkness ahead, and one more rescue waiting. The North Bridge creaked beneath the weight of snow. It stretched across the river like an old memory, wooden planks worn smooth by time, ropes stiff with ice, lanterns swaying weakly in the wind. Below, dark water rushed fast and cold, whispering warnings to anyone who dared cross. At the center of the bridge stood a small figure, a child, bundled in a red coat far too thin for the night, clutching a wrapped gift against their chest. Snow clung to their boots. Tears froze on their lashes. "I just wanted to give it to her," the child whispered to the empty air. "She'll be lonely tonight." Finn slowed his steps, lowering his voice. "You did the right thing by calling us." The bridge groaned. One plank cracked. The child whimpered. "I can't move." He planted himself at the bridge's edge. "This bridge won't hold all of us." Luna nodded. "Too much weight." Willow knelt in the snow, meeting the child's eyes. "Listen to me. You're not alone. We're going to get you across. Slowly, safely." Pip swallowed. "I'm light." Finn placed a paw on Pip's shoulder, and brave. Pip stepped onto the bridge. It held. The wind howled louder, tugging at scarves and lanterns. But Pip kept moving, inch by inch, speaking softly the entire time. "Tell me about your grandma," he said gently. The child sniffed. "She makes soup every Christmas and tells the same story every year." Pip smiled. "That sounds like the best kind of story." Halfway across, the rope snapped loose with a sharp crack. The bridge swayed. The child screamed. Without thinking, Bruno lunged forward, gripping the bridge rope with all his strength, anchoring it with his weight. "Now!" Finn shouted. Pip reached the child, wrapping his small body around theirs. "Don't look down. Look at me." The child nodded, shaking. Together, step by careful step, they moved. When they reached solid ground, Willow pulled them into warmth, wrapping both in blankets as Luna steadied the lantern light. The bridge collapsed behind them with a final sigh. The child looked back, then up. "I didn't lose the gift," they whispered. Finn knelt beside them. And you didn't lose Christmas. They walked the child home through quiet streets, glowing with celebration. At a small cottage near the river, the door opened to reveal an elderly woman, worry etched deep into her face, until she saw them. "Oh," she breathed. "You came back." The child ran into her arms, gift forgotten on the table. "I just wanted to be with you," the child said. The grandmother held them tight. "That's all I ever wanted to." Outside, the pups stood together, snow settling softly on their fur. Willow wiped her eyes. "That's what Christmas really is, isn't it?" Finn nodded, finding your way back to each other. As the church bells rang midnight, the town settled into peace. Lights shimmered. Snow fell gently now, no longer fierce. The wind softened, as if the night itself was finally satisfied. The pups walked back toward the town square, paws tired but hearts full. Pip yawned. "Is it over?" Luna gazed at the sky, smiling softly. "For tonight." Finn looked around at his friends. And we wouldn't change a moment. Above them, the stars burned bright. Christmas had been saved, not by magic alone, but by courage, kindness, and choosing to care. Morning arrived quietly. Snow no longer fell in a rush, but rested gently on rooftops, fences, and pine branches, as if the world itself had decided to breathe a little slower. Evergreen Valley woke beneath a pale winter sun. Its streets softened, its worries tucked away for another day. In the town square, the great Christmas tree stood tall and glowing, untouched by the storm of the night before. Lights twinkled faintly in the daylight, stubbornly cheerful. Inside the lookout tower, the pups slept in peaceful piles, boots kicked off, scarves draped over chairs, exhaustion finally winning. Finn was the first to stir. He stretched slowly, listening. No alarms, no wind howling, no cries for help, just quiet. He smiled. One by one, the others woke. Pip yawned so wide, his hat tipped sideways. "Is it Christmas?" Willow peeked out the window. "It is." Bruno rose carefully, stiff but satisfied. "And the town's still standing." Luna laughed softly. "Barely, but standing." They gathered around the window as Evergreen Valley came to life. Doors opened. Families stepped outside. Laughter drifted through the air, warm even in the cold. Children built snow pups. Neighbors shared food. The bells rang again, not in warning, but in joy. Finn took it all in. "This," he said quietly, "is why we do what we do." A knock echoed through the tower. The pups exchanged surprised looks. Finn opened the door. The entire town stood there. Scarves, coats, smiles, every face familiar. The mayor stepped forward, holding a large basket wrapped in red cloth. "We wanted to say thank you." Children rushed forward, placing handmade cards, treats, and tiny gifts at their paws. One card read, "Thank you for saving Christmas." Pip sniffed hard. "I'm not crying. It's just snow in my eyes." Willow laughed. "Indoors?" The grandmother from the river cottage stepped forward, holding a pot wrapped in towels. "Soup," she said warmly. "For heroes." Bruno nodded deeply. "Best gift there is. If you're enjoying this holiday story, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you love. Stories grow warmer when they're shared." As the crowd slowly dispersed, Finn looked at his team. "We didn't just rescue people," he said. "We reminded them they're not alone." Luna gazed at the tree in the square. "That's what holidays are for." Willow nodded. "Finding light, even in storms." Pip curled up with his card pile. "And soup. Don't forget soup." They laughed together, the sound echoing warmly through the tower. Outside, the sun climbed higher, catching on snow crystals and turning the valley into a field of quiet stars. Christmas isn't about perfect weather, perfect plans, or perfect gifts. It's about showing up, helping when it's hard, and choosing kindness even when the night is cold, because the greatest rescues aren't always loud. Sometimes they're simply choosing to care. Thank you for spending this holiday moment with us. If you'd like more cozy fairy tale adventures, bedtime stories, and heartwarming journeys, subscribe to Magic Fairytales TV and let the stories continue. Sweet dreams and Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more cozy fairy tales. Watch another Christmas story. Sweet dreams from Magic Fairytales TV.